Gemini, welcome to this quite quick Celtic cross. I've laid your cards already. I'm going to say Gemini, and I don't know what this plant is, but anyone who likes big plants. Yeah, so I've laid your cards already, and it's interesting. What it seems to show is a time of learning to trust. It's been kind of difficult on that front, and you might feel like you don't trust others. I don't know whether could be around work. This might have been an issue of giving your power away, and it's been really, really painful, and you're needing to recover from that a bit, but you're moving into a position where you're realizing that either there's other places to go or there's other ways to go about it where you can trust some people. Oh, that's a big hornet going into the wall or something like that. Right, so let's have a look. We'll dive in if that feels right to you. Let's get going. So you're here turning up internally as the Page of Pentacles. This rather pure energy, trying to grow something, very diligent. So if this is about work, you'd be incredibly diligent, good at getting your job done. A very consistent energy and an ability to learn. So you're very good at taking on and really deep diving, and that feels internally that you're trying to learn this new process. And what you're trying to learn, I think, is to do with cooperation, because we've got the Three of Pentacles. These people building together. In fact, it's one woman and two birds here. I like the implication of that, because what made me think is maybe you're building something with people in other countries, either your intuition with birds or people who are remote, other countries, online, that kind of thing, or with your intuition, or you're just simply trying to build, you're trying to learn how to cooperate, to build something kind of rather big, because usually in the Three of Pentacles we say you can build a cathedral. But at the basis of the reading, we've got this annoying Seven of Swords. So this egg is being stolen. A really lovely illustration. Seven of Swords indicates when you run into the danger of giving away your power, or there's someone a bit sneaky around who wants to take your power. So you might be starting again, trying to learn something new because you've recently had your power taken away. There has been something, I think, for whoever's watching this, that's recently been quite difficult. So now you're learning to rebuild. So it shows a kind of spirit of optimism and hope, because you're not just saying, leave me alone, I don't trust anyone. You're just trying to work a new way around this. In the recent past, we've got the Nine of Wands. That's you being defensive. Look at all those cut marks on her and the thorns. She's had to grow this rosy thorn in order to defend herself. In the Rider-Waite, we see someone putting up a fence, literally saying, I'm not going to fall for this again. So I think you're in the process of going, I recognise what's happened. I recognise where I gave my power away. And now I'm putting my defences in. I'm learning again. I'm having to learn something in a new way, but I want to build, but I also need to be a bit careful about that power thing being given away and being overburdened by others. One potential outcome is the King of Cups, and it's in this deck there are two versions of the King of Cups. One shows a woman being the King of Cups, and one shows a man. And this is the one that I feel is the most emotionally mature out of the two, because the King of Cups can feel one way one day, another the next. He can be a bit flip-floppy. He is a king. He is engaged with his heart and his emotions, but he also has this sense of potentially being a little bit kind of buffeted, and particularly, and also in this deck, there's one which shows a male king wearing this ship on his tunic or on his heart, and it feels as if he's being run by the ship. And interestingly here, the ship goes straight through her granite rocks, and she's holding the ship, and she's this incredible octopus-haired being. It shows me one potential outcome is that you're rising above the emotions of the situation. You're not being buffeted by them. You allow the emotions to ride straight on through. You don't get taken over by them. You allow them, you can see them, you can acknowledge them, but you are now in charge. So that's really, really lovely. Coming up in the near future, the Hermit. Again, we're at sea here. It's interesting, isn't it? All these emotions. So you learning to trust yourself, as we know you need to. You don't want to give your power away. You've got to find your right power, your right path. But that path has to keep you protected, but also it has to be able to cooperate. It has to be true to you. And that's what the Hermit does. But it's interesting that we're back in the sea, so it might be something very emotional that's happened to you recently around trust and emotions. Here, the Hermit's ready to fish in the seas. It's quite calm, and he's delving into the seas for his wisdom. It is by the moonlight. It's very sort of his path, one step at a time. So it's great. It really shows a beautiful progression. Your attitude is, oh, give me a rest. Your attitude is, I've been in this defensive position. I've been protecting my power. I've been, protecting my power in the Nine of Wands. I've been having my goodies taken from me potentially, and now I just needed to recalibrate, and that's a good position to come from. You want to get all your chakras aligned. You want to start off with this new hopeful start, feeling ready to go, you know, recalibrated somewhat. So that's really lovely, and I encourage you to do that because it looks like it has been quite a hard time. In your environment, it's interesting. It's such a kind of interesting. So we've got the Three of Swords, which is when we're at this absence, delay, separation, a sense of having to bring logic to the heart. Where else do we see the rose? Here, where you're being defensive, growing your thorns. So this is your environment. Yeah, logically, bringing logic to the heart, which is saying, I need to grow some defenses. This is in your environment, so it might be something at work or at home where you need to be a bit logical. You're not, there's an absence from what you actually want at the moment, but it's mixed with this very fiery Knight of Wands, rather, who's wanting to follow his passions, wanting to act from passion, wanting to do the impossible in this illustration, jump through hoops of fire. So you're in two minds. You're trying to look after that bit that was hurt, and you're also sort of gearing to get going with this cooperative new way, and maybe people around you are feeling a little bit hurt and trying to be logical and trying to sort of get what they need through talking logically to their heart that's feeling frustrated and like they haven't got it. But then this kind of drive, which I love. So this is the first of these wands that we're seeing coming in. There is as if you've started to get rested. But if this is purely your environment and people around you, it might be that there could be a boss who's a bit driven, who kind of pushes things too far, and then it doesn't work out. He doesn't listen to the logic of the situation. It causes everyone to have to be a bit defensive because your power gets taken away, your project gets derailed by this kind of flashy, libidinous-driven, following his whims, action, his or her whims. Or maybe there's someone like that at home for you as well. I don't know, you'll know. So trying to bring logic to that kind of energy, even if it's just yours. In your hopes and fears, the Chariot, yeah, you want to ride this energy, this kind of two sphinxes, two horses, this fast, this furious, this path that is yours, is your epic quest, like the Hermit. Hermit's all slow, but the Chariot is when you suddenly get into your own and off you go. It's interesting that it's a snail, so it's like what it's saying here is in your hopes and fears, you want to be able to use that drive, but also feel in charge of it, so it's not too fast, because it's a snail. You can cope with that. You've got your home on your head. You feel in control, but nonetheless, you're on your epic quest. And you probably fear this fiery side of you or others around you in your environment that can derail you a bit and get you going too fast, because the Chariot is hard in that it's fast and furious and there's a lot going on, but you always are fine with it. You will win, but there's a bit of splitting your laser beam as well, which can be hard. And in the outcome, we have the Two of world of wands. So you starting to look around, and I can't help but realise that we've got that wonderful full moon, and I'm recording this on the full moon. So it might be full moon's letting go. This is a harvest moon. So you might want to write a few things on a piece of paper, let go. Don't do too much because it's also an eclipse. So just allow. Eclipses take things from us anyway, but I wonder whether through the process of letting go of losing your power, letting go of the over-defensiveness of the Nine of Wands, now you're able to get up on your roof and have a look around about where you want to conquer next. You've got the world in your hands. It's whimsical, it's quiet. It feels quite a lot like this hermit. It feels like you're in your own place, planning quietly at night. Under this auspicious full moon, what you want next, and you're starting to sort of set your sights, you're starting to look around, so really exciting. I'm going to pull you an oracle card, and this is from the Dream Song Oracle. It's a beautiful new deck, and I found out about them in one of San Tarot's readings. I love her readings. Well, this is interesting. I'm going to pull you more because these came out for the little small reading that I just did, but it might be relevant anyway. I just don't want them to be unstuck, and that's... So it says, embrace self-compassion, which I think we need to, seeing what you've been through. And it says, you know, be soft and gentle with yourself after you've been through this time, full moon again. Maybe this is talking about just tonight, whenever you see this tonight, because this is the day I'm recording it. Doesn't mean on a full moon, it just means when you see this, be compassionate, acknowledge what has been hard, but then also abandon worry. I love that. It's okay. You've got this. It feels like it's been a hard time, but you don't need to be too defensive because something good is coming. You've got your sights set. You're in charge of your emotions now. You're King of Cups. And what's your final oracle card? Tell a new story. Oh, yes. God, I love the cards. I forget every time I've been away from them for a while. Tell a new story. Exactly. We know you've been through a worrying time. We know things have been hard. We know you need to be compassionate. But now abandon the worry. Tell yourself a new story. That's exactly what you're trying to do. A story where you cooperate with the energies around you. A story where you learn something new with the Page of Pentacles, who's that studious page, a young energy, but he's ready to put his head down. And isn't it interesting that there's the book? I like this bird-type human person with their hair flying. Tell a new story. What is this new story that you're going to write about your life? So the eclipse allows us to let go. The full moon allows us to let go. And then people are talking on the internet about a 9/9 portal. Of course, you can manifest whenever you want, but maybe I'll try and get this up really quickly. Maybe what you need to do is think about having let go of what you don't like about this aggression, this need to defend, and all of those things that we know. Now we let go of that. We allow the eclipse to take it from us, and now we focus on what is it we want. What are we going to make happen now? What's the new version of our life that incorporates cooperation, our true path, lots of our passion, and the Chariot going forward, but with us in charge this time. This is wonderful. Thank you for turning up. See you again.